Hello and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today we're going to be reading Acts chapter 9 verses 19 through 27, starting with the English Standard Version. And taking food he was strengthened. For some days he was with the disciples at Damascus, and immediately he proclaimed Jesus in the synagogue, saying, "He is the Son of God." And all who heard him were amazed and said, "Is not this the man who made havoc in Jerusalem of those who called upon this name? And has he not come here for this purpose, to bring them bound before the chief priests?" But Saul increased all the more in strength and confounded the Jews who lived in Damascus by proving that Jesus was the Christ. When many days had passed, the Jews plotted to kill him, but their plot became known to Saul. They were watching the gates day and night in order to kill him, but his disciples took him by night and let him down through an opening in the wall, lowering him in a basket. And when he had come to Jerusalem, he attempted to join the disciples, and they were all afraid of him, for they did not believe that he was a disciple. But Barnabas took him and brought him to the apostles and declared to them how on the road he had seen the Lord who spoke to him, and how at Damascus he had preached boldly in the name of Jesus. New Century Version. After he ate some food, his strength returned. Saul stayed with the followers of Jesus in Damascus for a few days. Soon he began to preach about Jesus in the synagogue, saying, "Jesus is the Son of God." All of the people who heard him were amazed. They said, "This is the man who was in Jerusalem trying to destroy those who trust in this name. He came here to arrest the followers of Jesus and take them back to the leading priests." But Saul grew more powerful. His proofs that Jesus is the Christ were so strong that his own people in Damascus could not argue with him. After many days, they made plans to kill Saul. They were watching the city gates day and night, but Saul learned about their plan. One night, some followers of Saul helped him leave the city by lowering him in a basket through an opening in the city wall. When Saul went to Jerusalem, he tried to join the group of followers, but they were all afraid of him. They did not believe he was really a follower. But Barnabas accepted Saul and took him to the apostles. Barnabas explained to them that Saul had seen the Lord on the road, and the Lord had spoken to Saul. Then he told them how boldly Saul had preached in the name of Jesus in Damascus. Okay, so the big thing I want to talk about here is a word that, when used incorrectly, can obviously cause a lot of grief, I'll even say hatred. Acceptance. So when Saul, at this point in his life, he is still known as Saul, had been baptized, even though he had been preaching the good news of Christ, and the people that he was preaching to knew about this, they were still questioning it because they knew that he had come to Damascus to arrest them and take them back to the leading priests in Jerusalem. They were not willing to accept that he had truthfully turned over to Christ. And they even went as far as it says to want to kill him. So he goes to Jerusalem and he runs into a similar issue there. They don't want to accept him. They don't want to believe that he had truly turned his life over. I bring that up because even in today's world, we find it's hard to accept some people who come to Christ knowing what their past was. We always look at them with maybe a little bit of a side eye, maybe a little bit of hesitancy. It doesn't matter. We're waiting for the other shoe to drop, so to speak. We're waiting for their old lifestyle to come back and supposedly show their true colors. So the thing that I would say we need to take from this is, if someone is truthfully turning their life over to Christ, it should be very evidently well known. So, I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.